I met someone who was a Scientologist. Well, I fell in love. Later I found out that my boyfriend was a Scientologist when he started to try to drag me into that. He just told me, well, I know something that's really good. And I know something that can help everybody on this world. And there's something I'd like you to do. I'd like you to learn about and hear about. And that was like maybe a month after I met him. I told myself it's not that bad. It can't be that bad. Since he's a good guy and since I love him, it can't be too bad. And then it started to become worse and worse. And yeah, so what I did was I read books by Hubbard and books by anti-Scientologists. And I talked to people who were anti-Scientologists, and I talked to people who were Scientologists. I went to the org with him and, to find out for myself. I mean, that's what they say. And I found out for myself, and I was even more shocked. And that was about half a year later after I met him. And then I started to talk to him about, well, think about it, See what Hubbard is writing, that non-Scientologists are not supposed to have civil rights and human rights and all that. And he said, well, it's fine, And yeah.
What were some of the things that you first found out about that shocked you?
The way they talk and how you can train people not to be able to talk to normal people anymore, and how a personality can be changed in like 7 weeks. That's what shocked me. And then I read about the goals of Scientology, like political power and what they do to people and what they do with all this money. And yeah, that shocked me too, of course.
So let's go back earlier to when he's starting to talk to you about it. Did he gave you books to read?
Yeah,
like what?
Of course. What is Scientology? The big edition, the small edition, the paperback edition, everything you wanted. And he gave me a book for Christmas. Well, that was later, but that was self-analysis. He gave me Dianetics, and I read it all the way through. And the ethics book, I read that. And he gave me like brochures and prospects and little leaflet things.
Did you take them willingly at that point?
No. First, as I said, I tried to like push it away from me, to ignore it maybe. And yeah, then I started to read it, and I read it with him, and I read it to him, and I read all the passages that shocked me to him. Like in the ethics book, it says that as a Scientologist, you're not supposed to announce publicly that you're not into it anymore.
Oh, so if you leave Scientology, you're not supposed to tell anyone that?
No.
Yeah. What was your boyfriend's reaction when you would bring up these things that worried you?
When I think back now, it's kind of cute. He obviously thought I'm nuts. And yeah, well, he kept on repeating things like TR. He just kept on saying, well, look at it. Just look and see for yourself. And I told him, well, I did. Now you look. And he said, well, I don't have to. I found what I wanted to. And so he kept on bringing books to me and reading stuff to me, and he wanted me to do the comm course, and I had to watch some movies, and he had me talk to guys and Scientologists and his ethic officer.
And this went on for how long?
We were together for 10 months.
So pretty much that entire time, he was trying to introduce you to Scientology. And what was that certainly wasn't the only thing that you two talked about or had in common. What was the rest of your relationship like?
Well, he's really into Scientology. So he doesn't go to the movies. He doesn't read. Well, except Hubbard's books. He can't just spend a weekend at his family's house and feel comfortable. He can't. He's working all the time. And when he's not working, he's in his courses. And so I try to drag him out of there, like go for a walk. But I felt he didn't enjoy it. He couldn't enjoy it anymore. He felt bad about it. We talked about sailing. We both like to sail. But well, there was a time when he told me I can't go sailing anymore. I don't have time, and it doesn't help me.
Was he sorry about that,
No.
or Scientology is more important than his passion for sailing, and ultimately more important than you?
I guess.
Yeah.
When I found out about Scientology, I just felt I wanted to help him. And I would have done almost everything to help him, to get him out of there. And so it hurt me personally when he told me he wouldn't want to go anywhere. He'd like to work to earn money.
What type of work did he do?
He's doing internet sites and computer networks and all that kind of crap. And he spends a lot of time with that. I've been trying to read books to him. Like, he won't read by himself, so I'm reading books to him, mostly children's books. And that would work for like half an hour.
What type of critical books do you read? Not necessarily to him, but yeah.
There's a pretty famous ex-Scientologist in Germany who's called Norbert Potthoff. I read his books and I met him actually. I just called him up and said, well, hi, I got a problem, can you help me? And my boyfriend knew that. And he was mad. And he was like, he thought Norbert Potthoff influenced me badly, and he treated me like I had cancer, I don't know, like influenza or anything, I don't know. So I read his books, Ursula Kobitzsch's book.
And you called Ursula?
Yeah. A friend of mine said, I know somebody who could help. You just go and talk to her. That was in December, when everything was almost over. When it got worse and worse for me, and I felt so bad I couldn't help him. And so I called her, and she said, well, I've heard from you, just come on over to Hamburg. And yeah, I bought a ticket for the train and went straight to Hamburg, and she met me on the station, on the train station, and it was lovely. And she helped me a lot. I could talk, she would talk to me, and that was a great help.
Was anybody else in his family in Scientology?
No.
Did he have contact with other family members?
Yeah, I think he still has. I'm not sure. Well, by now he wants to join the Sea Org, and his parents won't let him. So he's going home every other weekend to try to, so that they will say yes to his plans.
Why does he need their permission?
I have no clue. I think Scientology is afraid that his parents would make trouble. And I know they would, if he just disappeared to Copenhagen or whatever.
So you know his parents?
I know his parents very well, yeah. I live in their house, and they introduced me to him, knowing that he was a Scientologist and knowing that I'm not, and probably hoping that I could get him out. And they didn't tell me either. They told me later when we were together for half a year. And they told me.
That this was something they were hoping you could accomplish.
That I should be careful about Scientology. That's what they told me.
Tell me about your meeting with his mom this morning.
Well, she's in the house right now and doing some stuff in the basement, putting lights on, I suppose. And I met her, and she talked to me about my ex-boyfriend and what he's doing right now, how he feels, how he looks, when he's coming home. And I said, well, yeah, you know. And she said, I still believe that one day he'll get out of there. I still do believe. And then she started to cry and started to hug me all over, and then she said, I would have liked you to be my daughter-in-law. And I still have hope. That's what she said.
Do you have any hope?
No. Knowing his background and his parents and the way he thinks and the way he feels, I don't think he'll get ever out of that.
He may see this video someday.
He may.
What do you think his reaction will be?
He'll be mad.
Mad?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, he thinks I'm stupid, working against Scientology and trying to tell people what it's all about, and so I guess he just thinks I'm badly influenced by some people. I don't know.
You don't think he'd be able to see how much you care?
No.
Well, I think other people can see. And I think other people will get the message. And perhaps someday he will too. Is there anything else you wanted to say? Are there things that we didn't touch on?
Well, I have some advice for people in my situation or in similar situations. And I'd say the important point is not to work against the human beings in there, the persons, but against the organization. So it's not about the people in there. I don't hate my boyfriend. I don't hate anybody's in there. But I hate what they do to people.